Hello, my name is Matthew Schneider and I'm doing my PowerPoint presentation on integrity. First of all, I would like to start off with my personal definition of integrity. Integrity to me is doing what is right even when no one's looking. What that means to me is just doing the right thing no matter what. If your boss is looking, if other coaches, parents, always doing what's right no matter what. Especially when no one's looking, because I think that is the hardest thing to do, is always do what's right based on your morals and values. Webster and Merriam Dictionary defines integrity 3 different ways. One, it's a firm adherence to a code of especially moral and artistic values. 2, an unimpaired condition. And 3, the quality of state of being complete or undivided. Just pretty much like it says there, I mean, it kind of correlates to my personal definition, the moral and artistic values, and you have to adhere to them. It's kind of like a code, your own personal code with integrity. A couple of examples of integrity. I'm a golfer, so I found one on golfing just recently. A golfer named Chris Crawford disqualified himself from the United States Amateur Golf Tournament. This is one of the bigger tournaments for amateur golfers. And Mr. Crawford shot a score that would have gotten into the match play to hopefully end up winning the championship. But unfortunately, he had to disqualify himself. Also, it was because of something that he didn't even do. His caddy used a rangefinder with slope, which is against the USGA rules when you're playing in a tournament. What slope does is it calculates the hills and how far the hill is or how far downhill it is, and adjusts the yardage for what you should play. You're only allowed to use the USGA slope, just measure how far one point or the other is. But his caddy used the slope function on the rangefinder. Unfortunately, that was against the rules, and he disqualified himself once finding out that his caddy used the slope function, which is not allowed. I think this shows great integrity, especially for the sport and for this young man. He didn't even break the rules. Just someone that was on his team broke the rules. Now he could have said, hey, it wasn't me, I didn't know, so I'm just going to play on. But he showed his integrity by disqualifying himself because he knew that was the right thing to do. Our textbook in Practical Ethics of Sports Management defines integrity is about the beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors that go into how we make decisions and conduct ourselves in our day-to-day lives. That's really important because, our beliefs, attitudes, morals, character all make us up who we are, and to have integrity to go along with those is quite hard to do, but we must do it, especially as coaches, athletic directors, people around kids. We got to teach them how to have integrity and use it. A Bible example of integrity, I turn to Proverbs chapter 11, verse 3. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Pretty much integrity, just, the righteous, the rightful have integrity, and that's what we all strive to be. So the Bible explains to us that we need to have integrity to be upright, and once we lose that integrity, we're more unfaithful and we can be destroyed. Couple examples from the National Federation of High Schools. They use a tennis example where tennis players must understand that by acting as their own officials, they are handed an incredible amount of power. In high school tennis, there is no referee saying the ball is in or out. It's the players. I think that the sport of tennis shows us that when you're playing against someone, that you need to have integrity, and if that ball is out, you got to call it on it, and if it's in, you got to call it. You have to go both ways. I think for high schoolers, this is a hard issue because they always want to win, and to call the ball out or in on yourself or your opponent shows a great deal of integrity and character as well. The movie clip, I picked a movie clip of integrity. I'm a sports guy like most of the people in this class. Finding Forrester is about a young man going to a prep school. He is African American, and he's a wonderful writer, but he's having some issues with some of his writing. So he throughout the movie he finds and meets this author, a world famous author that's kind of been more of a recluse over the recent years, but he starts writing with him and helps him. But what happens is he uses an excerpt from the author, and the dean of the school causes the dean of the school accuses the young man of plagiarism. But in this example, this author comes to school and reads the young man's work, showing that he actually gave permission to the young man. The young man shows integrity because he didn't give up his source, even with the threat of being expelled. He kept his source and the author and his relationship quiet, as the famous author, asked him to do, which is, quite remarkable, especially nowadays when we would just give it up, especially facing expulsion from the school. Integrity has been a lot. I mean, integrity to me is a big issue with this. Trying to make ethical decisions and having integrity is one of the big issues that I struggle with and strive to actually keep it going. Especially as a coach, you have to make those hard decisions, even though it's going to hurt your team or hurt yourself, personally. So that was my presentation. Thank you very much.